The next morning, I tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna move to New York or Cali. And she like, no, you're not. Like, you know, she think I'm What's good, YouTube? This your boy Trey Glock. I mean, shit, Glory Boy Ghoul. Coming out with a YouTube video, man. In this video, I'm gonna be telling y'all how I moved to New York at 19 years old. I'm 21 years old now. Alright, so it's important I start this off with a quick story time to explain how we got here in the first place. The reason I moved here, bro, the reason I moved to New York City is because of this. In 2019, okay, so, you know, I graduated, well, y'all don't know, but I graduated in 2018, June 2018, but I didn't go to college. And because of the fact I didn't go to college, I was working and shit. Like, I was working as Zaxby's, I was working fast food and shit. I was making decent money, but, you know, that's not a lifelong job that I want for myself. So, you know, I'm working as Zaxby's and shit, making a good little coin or whatever. But all my friends are shit in college, and I'm like thinking like, damn, what's my future gonna look like? Like, you know, what is this really gonna all lead to, you know? So after I had took my first semester off, it was time for like the next semester to start. This was in December of 2019. It was December, literally the day this happened, like I made a decision was December 31st. It was like the deadline for you to register for classes. And I enrolled actually to go at NC State. I was trying to go to NC State, right? I was trying to go to NC State. And I didn't register for classes at all. No. I'm driving to work. So I'm driving to work. It's the deadline for me to register for classes. And I'm like, hey, can I still register for classes? I'm like, you know, I didn't even know it was a deadline. Like, don't ask me how I didn't know, but I didn't know. So they like basically like, it's too late, or it's probably too late. They're not really giving me no answers, really. Like, they kind of just like, oh, you probably too late, you know. It's probably too late for you to register for classes, you know, this, that, and third. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. So I get to work, and I'm like panicking, yo. Like, I'm tweaking out OD. Because I'm like, at this point, that means I took a whole year off of school because, you know, I would be out for that semester. I'm technically a creative at the point. That's what I consider myself. But I don't have no clear path of what I want to do with my art. I just know that I want to be an artist. Like, I'm good at a lot of stuff. So I'm just like, I want to do something with all of this. But, yeah, so I'm stressed the fuck out. Like, I get off work, it's like 11. I get home at like 11:30ish. Get in the shower at like 11:50. Like I said, it's December 31st, so it's New Year's Eve, basically. So I'm sitting here in the shower, sad as you know, as a MF. I already cursed in this video, so I might as well say it. I'm sad as a motherfucker, basically. Sad as hell. So what ended up happening was, at like 11:55, I get an idea. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just move to New York or back to California. Don't ask me how I got the idea. But I just like, I'm gonna move either back to California or I'm gonna move to New York. That's it. I'm gonna do it. I was like, fuck it. We gonna lock in. So that's like my final decision. Like, we going into the new year literally with this idea. Like, this crazy. Like, it was literally the idea that I finalized as soon as it became 2019. The next morning, I tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna move to New York or Cali in the summer. And she like, no, you're not. Like, you know, she think I'm cap, basically. She just think I'm capping, just talking. Because, you know, I never lived on my own. I'm 40, so I always live with my mom. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm sheltered, but I'm definitely a mama's boy. Like, I lived with my mom my whole life. I never really took like no trips or nothing like out of state without my mom, basically. This collar, bro, this collar is tweaking me out, bro. Bro, yo, hold up, man. Hunter. So, she just think I'm capped, and she was like, you know what? Because my mom's the type of woman where she say, like, you could do whatever you want as long as you got a plan. Like, she backed me no matter what as long as I got a plan. So I was like, all right, bet. So I made a plan up on the spot, bro. It's some simple stuff. I'm going to tell you, like, obviously. I was like, okay, this summer, I'm going to save $5,000 by this summer. Fly you and my sister out to New York or Cali. Y'all going to help me pick an apartment. And then I'm going to sign a lease and, you know, boom. She was like, all right, bet, let's go. So the reason this plan was a good plan technically is because it all was dependent on me saving that $5,000. Like, I didn't have no type of savings at all before this. So if I was saving the money, she would believe that I was serious, and she would definitely support me, because that would be me working towards my plan, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, the reason this was going to work out for me, well, the way I made this work out was basically with my money. How I saved my money was like this. So at Zaxby's, I was getting paid like $12, $13 an hour at the time. I was a team leader. Basically, I probably was making like $700, $800 a check. So what I did was, my plan was like this. Okay, when I get a check, I'm gonna save half the check and spend half the check, because I was paying my phone bill, my car insurance, and, you know, just any type of clothing items I wanted to buy. So that was my plan, because, you know, I still wanted to enjoy my life as a teenager. Like a month later, I told my friends, I have 3 close friends that I live with right now. I told them, I was like, hey, y'all, I'm planning to move to New York. I was like, I'm planning to move to New York or Cali this year. Well, over the summer. And everybody, they ecstatic, bro. They like, bet. Because one of my friends is currently he's in Florida right now doing a Disney program. And then the other 2 are like at Wake Tech Community College in North Carolina. They're at Wake Tech Community College. We just like, okay, bet. Like, I told them my plan of what I was doing with my money. I was like, I'm trying to save 5 bands by the end of by the beginning of the summer or end of the summer. It really didn't matter. Just over the summer. And then I'm going to go out there, get us a crib, and we going to move. That's the plan. Because, you know, I just incorporated them into my plan if they wanted to come, obviously. Okay, so back to me saving. As time went on, like in March or so, I had got a raise. So I was making like $15 an hour. So my checks went up. I was probably making like $1,000 a check after taxes. So what I did was, instead of saving half of my checks, what I ended up doing was I saved literally my whole check except for like $100 or $200, like except for what I needed. Like, I really locked in. You know, that's a good little chunk of money going in my savings account. So really, by the summer, I had made past my goal. I made past my goal. Like I said, it was $5,000. But what happened was, my friend one of my friends didn't have his savings at $5K by the summer. So instead of leaving him, I decided I was gonna wait. I was like, we're gonna push it back to the end of the year anyways. I'm gonna just double my goal. As long as y'all got what y'all need, then we good. So I doubled my goal for the end of the year, which was $10,000. So yeah, I worked my job as Lightspeed's up until probably around like October, November. But I ended up quitting my job and getting a security job, because I was thinking that I was gonna get transferred from, well, my friend was working a security job, and he said that they could transfer me to the company in New York. So that's why we all quit our jobs and got a job at the security job. But that ended up backfiring. I'm gonna maybe get into that later. So yeah, that was really what we did as far as that. That nigga ended up telling us about that. We all got security jobs. Basically, when it was time for us to move, what I did was, I flew my mom, well, me and my mom, my sister, and my other sister ended up coming too. Y'all came to New York, and we were looking for apartments in 2 neighborhoods in Brooklyn. We ended up finding a good little apartment. It was nice, you know, and I was like, let's do it. $75 more. And this one got a balcony. These are what bathrooms look like. Alright.
Balcony. I'm coming too. I like this.
Balcony.
But I like this neighborhood. It looks more homey. it looks, cause these are houses.
Yeah.
So it looks family like you got some new developments over there, new developments down the street. You walk in distance from everything. Don't seem as nasty or whatever. And jungle, I know you don't care about it that much, but I'm just saying, still you want us to have some sense of hominess too.
Yeah.
Since you're so far, and it's different. How would you use this building over the other one? So you get big closets. And you get big, everybody gets some room.
Yeah, if they don't care about balcony, second floor.
Yeah.
I'll show you the back one too. Back one is a duplex.
So these are all available.
Pretty much the same thing. This one just got a balcony. So we like, all right, cool. We gonna get this place right here. They like, yeah, we want this place right here. It's nice, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good little. It's not too big, but it's like it fulfills what we want in a place. We really just want somewhere to sleep at. The city is more so the experience. We're like, well, we're more so here for the experience. We all agreed, like I said, and so I went back to North Carolina. So we we doing the paperwork through this website. I don't really remember what it's called, but I can link everything that I can link literally everything in the description. Just to put it out there, we got the apartment where we found the apartment on apartments.com and Zillow. I think it's called Zillow, something like that. They set us up for the paperwork. Well, to secure the apartment, we had to put down the first month's rent, to secure it. And then we had to put down, which was a security deposit. Everybody had to have a credit score of $700. What the fuck? What the heck? No. Everybody had to have a credit score of 700 at least. So put a security deposit down, first month's rent, 700 credit score. And basically what they said was the total sum of all our yearly earnings had to equate to I think it was 40 times the rent. Everybody individually didn't have to make it, of course, but the total of all of our earnings yearly had to equal that. And that was not we did not meet that requirement at all. Well, matter of fact, I think we were a $10,000 below, because we all were working we're young. We working just little 40-hour weeks, making 15 an hour. I don't know. We not making that. Well, I think that because we were $10,000 below, they were willing to let it slide. But here's the catch. So one of my friends' credit score was really bad, basically. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say what it was. It was just really bad. I had a 730. No, I had a 720. One of my friends had a literally his was 726. My other friend was 696, but it was good enough to slide for 700, they said. But the other friend, the last one, his was really bad. And it wasn't his fault at all. Basically what happened was he was paying off his student loans to a bank. But the bank he was paying the student loans off to was a fraudulent bank. And they were apparently under a lawsuit, but there was no way for him to prove that in the moment that was the case. So that put us back a step. They basically ended up telling us to get guarantors for the apartment because everybody's credit score wasn't over 700. And like I said, the dudes was really bad. But with the guarantors, you had to make 80 times the yearly, the rent. I feel like it was $200,000. I don't know. Don't judge me. I'm not in school right now. I don't do math, but it was okay if my mom, because my mom makes a good chunk of money and my other friend's mom makes a good chunk of money. Just the two of them could have covered I think $200,000 guarantor requirement, basically. But my mom said no. So she said no. She said, I'm not putting my credit on that. No, she trusted me, but she doesn't trust, us to, what I'm saying? Of course, it makes sense. My mom's not going for that. So my friend still was able to convince his mom And then the other two of my friends were able to convince like their grandma and then I think his mom. All three of them were able to come up to about $200,000. We signed it. They let us get it, basically let us get the crib, and it was lit. And that's basically how we secured the crib. Our moving date was February 1st of 2020. So yeah, we moved out here that date. Of course, you know, looking back on it, it was kind of like, I'm not gonna say ass because I'm still glad that I'm here. I still have been able to enjoy the city, but as everybody knows, COVID hit New York City mid-March. That kind of fucked everything up. But yeah, for the times that I was able to enjoy New York, it's been really good. I actually had to go back to North Carolina during the quarantine, so because of that, I came back in June, but I haven't even really lived here for a year yet. Right now it's May. It's about to be June in like 2 weeks. 2 more weeks till June, I think. So, when I'm recording this. So, I've been here for almost a year, but technically I don't think you can say I've lived here for a year yet because like I said, I was in North Carolina for 3 months. But New York City is fine, bro. Like, I will say, like, the way I feel being here is like I literally just walk outside and I feel like I'm like doing something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to sound like one of them like touristy ass people or whatever, but like I feel like I like riding the train for real. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the train is kind of nasty, but I like the city. It's like it makes me feel like I feel like a part of the city when I'm here. Like, I feel a part of it. I feel welcome. I never really been shunned living here from being from the South, but I will say everybody here knows I'm from the South as soon as I talk, or at least they know I'm not from New York. Like, it's definitely like I'm definitely not from here. Like, I can't pass that off. Well, I could probably, maybe I could no, shut up. I couldn't pass it off. But yeah, ultimately we ended up finessing it, thankfully. And we here.